I'll start it off.
Go for it.
When will Greyson's law be enacted?
So as of right now, we're waiting on the governor's signature. So hopefully we get that sooner rather than later. But if the governor doesn't sign it and he doesn't veto it, the law will go into effect July 1st. So we would like for him to actually sign it and recognize Allie and Greyson in that moment. And by signing that, whether he ever mentions their name or anything, just actually physically signing it into law. It's just a huge monumentous moment, so I would love for Allie and Greyson to have that. But if not, it would go into effect July 1st. And there is going to be a change. I was explaining this to some folks earlier. One of the other things that's an added benefit is we made sure that a lot of people, when they go to the courthouse to apply for domestic violence injunctions, go without an attorney. They're unrepresented. So the language from this bill is actually going to be incorporated into applications for domestic violence injunctions. So if you don't know how to put it into words what you're experiencing, if you don't know how to put into words the threats, the coercion, the intimidation, the harassment, you don't know how to put that into words, there's now going to be portions of the form for you to check those boxes so a judge can actually now inquire, hey, I see that you checked you're being harassed. Tell me about that. I see that you checked the box that you're being intimidated, or he's controlling you, he's manipulating you, he's using the child. Talk to me about that. So now when you go and if you're unrepresented, you're going to be able to fill out that form, and Greyson's law is going to basically be on that form for you to fill out.
I know I asked the question before, but will you need police reports?
So this is always going to require evidence. At the end of the day, and one of the things that I said to some of the people that had some reservations about this, because it really is going to impact the family law courts, is there is no bill out there that is going to stop that family law courts are often used by parents in not telling the truth and elaborating maybe some things. So you're always still going to have evidence. But Allie had 250 pages of evidence. Well, this isn't for the police. This is when you go and you apply for a domestic violence injunction, or you apply for time sharing, or you applied for shared parental responsibility. This law, now the court doesn't just look at, the court looks at what's in the best interest of the child, but part of that best interest of the child now is how are you treating the other parent? How are you treating the mother or the father of that child? Are you threatening that parent? Now, we're going to look at that as maybe that's not the best interest of the child for you to have them if you're doing that to the other parent.
So if there was domestic violence going on in the home, and you called the police, and they wrote a crap report, but you had the proof and evidence, that's where the one little piece, because that's what I went through.
Each judge is going to take all of that information. So just like you walk into any court as an attorney, I've been practicing law for almost 18 years. So when you walk into court, you're always going to need some type of evidence. But these judges, and that's why family law courts are so important, is they look at things that other judges maybe don't. Judges are always going to look at the credibility. They're going to look at, have you been before them before? Have you been truthful? The judges always have to weigh those types of situations, but it is going to still require evidence, not necessarily a he said, she said. And in the event that it's a he said, she said, or she said, he said, the courts have to weigh that credibility and make that determination. But we know in Allie's situation, she had 250 pages of evidence. Anybody?
I've been doing court watch probably almost 30 years, and we found a lot of this, and it still goes on. When you talk about some things that are just so horrible, sexual abuse of children, kind of sometimes the judges against sexual abuse, they think they're making it up, and they come up with something has to be done about that.
And that can be something we tackle next chapter, but right now, obviously, what we focused on was making sure that Allie's situation and Greyson's situation, hopefully doesn't happen again, that we're giving these judges additional tools that they can take into consideration, additional factors that they weren't able to consider before, now they can.
Have you had some, kids that you're doing,
many things they could have done differently. That's the reality. Yeah. Many things. Anybody else? Going once? Going twice? Thank you. Oh, yes, ma'am. And listen, I think we could, and I don't want to cut you off, but I want to make sure we kind of stay. I don't want to we don't want to relive this for her, right? Today is celebrating what legacy we're leaving and what legacy Greyson's leaving. I know. So let's maybe talk. We want to just try to stay focused on the positive. The family law system needs a huge overhaul, and we took one small bite at it. One small bite at it.
Did that pass?
It passed, and I don't believe it's been signed yet. I believe it will be. I know I had a lot of detailed conversations with the family law section of the Florida Bar and why they were supporting it. But I do believe it will be signed. Anybody else? I don't think he will veto it. It's just a matter of does he do the ceremonial signing and actually, or does he just let it go into it? Yeah, I don't. Correct. If he just does nothing, it'll go into effect. Our preference would be sign that bill, right, Rep Rudman? Sign that bill. Rep Rudman has been working. He has more context on that side than I do. He's been working hard to get it.
Is the governor's enthusiastic?
We appreciate it.
Very soon. Very soon. Sooner than you think.